Just 2 weeks left in the regular season, so welcome into another edition of Inside Indiana Volleyball with Sherry Dunbar-Kruzan. I'm Sean Nash. This past week, the Hoosiers split their two matches, taking Wednesday night against Rutgers in a 3-0 sweep. And let's start with that match, Coach. Morgan Leach and Amelia Anderson, both 14 kills on the night, a much higher hitting percentage compared to the last few matches. What does it mean to have those two of the more veteran players on this team, step up and lead when the team really needed a victory?
Well, I think with Morgan, she had a great match, and not just her hitting, but I thought she block touched a lot of balls and really, gave just a go-to presence on the court. And really, all the way until the third set, I think was hitting perfect almost, and with no errors, which is really a positive for her, and got blocked finally that third set. And then Amelia I was proud of because she actually started off really slow and then built her way back up into hitting about 259, which is really good for her. So it was nice to see those two with really good, solid performances. I don't think we played our best volleyball, but anytime you can sweep a team in the Big Ten is really good, and we had to win that second set 27-25, and so that was a good win for us at home.
And during that match, Morgan moved into 16th all-time on the kills list. Also, Courtney Harnish had just one dig, but that was good enough to move her into the 8th best season of all time in IU history in terms of digs. Saturday night did not go as planned. Sweep loss to Michigan State. The team just kind of seemed flat, it seemed like, for the most part in that match. Do you just have to expect those kind of matches to pop up every once in a while in the season?
Well, you don't really expect them, but, literally it happened. And, we looked back on it, we talked as a staff, and there was nothing we could take from that match that was positive. Sometimes you have losses and you can take it and you can learn from it, and we can watch film on it. And, it was one of those matches where I don't know how to explain it. I thought we prepared really well for them with film and in practice of doing a lot of the offense that Michigan State does, and I thought the team was really prepared, and we came out and did not fight, and we were in the same position Michigan State is in the Big Ten Conference, and I thought they just had a totally different attitude. And even if we would have played well, I still think Michigan State would have won that match. They played at a really high level that night and deserved to win the match. Yesterday we had a really good practice, a Monday practice, after a huge loss at Michigan State that was a really positive practice. And so, we're doing some really good things in the gym, and they haven't lost their motivation at all. And it's not like they're counting days till the season's over. Everybody's been in those type of seasons, and that's not at all where our kids are right now. So I'm really proud of them for that. But when the lights come on and it's time to play at 7 o'clock at night, you got to be ready to play, and you got to be ready to fight, because everybody's playing for something right now.
With a short turnaround, you already have to play tomorrow night. And really get ready for these last 4 games. How do you just drop a Michigan State match like that and move on?
Well, I thought when we got back on the bus, I kind of tried to refocus them. We talked a little bit in the locker room on what our motivation is for the rest of the season. Morgan talked to the group a little bit. And then I refocused them on the bus and had them write down, one thing that they could commit to attitude-wise for the next 2 weeks, and one thing physically they could commit to for the next 2 weeks. That can be a focus, instead of having 500 things in their mind that they really want to change or do and things like that. When you have 2 weeks left, let's pick one attitude-wise, one physical-wise that we think can help the team be better in the next 4 matches and the next 2 weeks of practice, and let's just hammer that. So we wrote it on the whiteboard yesterday before practice, and they voiced them out loud, and I thought it was just a refocus kind of tool for us. And to remind them what we're playing for, what our motivation is, and how we want to end this. We've made some good steps this year, but if you're satisfied with going from 1 to 6 wins, that's not really where we want to be. So we want to push to get a few more wins, and to go into the off season understanding the steps we've taken and also where we want to go from here.
And that 1 to 6 wins, just the third team in the Big Ten since 1985 to do that. So at least a positive accomplishment there. But obviously, as you said, the team doesn't want to rest on that. A 7th win would make you guys the first ever team to improve from 1 to 7 wins in the Big Ten Conference. And this Saturday is senior night. Morgan Leach is the lone senior on this team. And so Jeremy Rosenthal this week sat down with all the players and staff, got their thoughts and favorite memories of Morgan. So let's take a quick preview of that video.
Hi, Morgan. I just wanted to say that I'm really going to miss you this year, or next year, sorry. and definitely going to miss our peppering, little session where we hit it back and forth, and we always end up hitting someone either in the head or hitting someone in the head in the audience or something stupid.
But we will miss you and everything you bring to this team. So don't forget about us. Good luck in the future.
Hey Mo, something I'll never forget that happened with you was our first conditioning session, and I was dying, and I was like, Morgan, don't leave me. You helped me out. Ever since then, you've been helping me out with everything. Now you're the one who can never breathe.
Morgan, I'm going to miss very much how you were my fellow crier. If ever I was about to cry, I would always look over and you were probably already crying. I'm also going to miss whenever I would mess up. Well, whenever I do mess up, because I do it a lot. Whenever I looked at you, you would always smile at me or just tell me to just go out for the next one. You were always really encouraging and never got frustrated. So I'm going to miss that a lot too. I love you.
But I just want to let you know that I'm going to miss you a lot. It's been a pleasure setting you, and I'm really happy that I was able to help you get to 1,000 kills. I know whatever you do in life, you're going to be extremely successful, and I hope to continue to stay in touch. I love you.
Hey, Coach, can we just get your thoughts on Morgan Leach and her 4 years here at IU?
Well, obviously I've really enjoyed it, and to have a player that's a senior and is still so motivated to keep learning and keep growing is a thrill to have in our program, and someone that doesn't want it to end. And you always want your seniors to have these kind of experiences. And what I told Morgan, we had our individual meeting the other day just to catch up, and it was, it's really nice because I think she is still learning a lot and growing as a person. And she's someone that's going to continue to do that. I think she's someone that enjoys doing that. Fred Glass and I were talking about her one day, and he had mentioned a book that might be interesting for her to read, and she read the whole book in less than a week, and was telling the team about it. And she's somebody that enjoys that kind of learning process. So she's a real joy for me to have in the program, not only as a player but as a person. And I'm thrilled that she came to Indiana, and I think she represents what we stand for.
And now this week, final 2 home matches, Nebraska tomorrow night on Wednesday night, Illinois on Saturday. You already talked about Nebraska a little bit. Both these teams, you played them each already. Both of them were 3-0 losses. Yep. So I know last week I asked you, do you look back at the matches before, but how do you treat it now when you've lost to these teams? Do you look back and try to correct what went wrong in those matches more, or do you have to, again, focus on where both of those teams and where your team is at now?
Well, they're doing the same thing. So that's the thing. You're not going to change a lot as the season goes along once you get to a certain point. And Nebraska's found something that has been very successful for them with their lineup. And so we've scouted them again, and it's the same offense. So really it's about looking back and seeing why were we not successful against them. What things have we grown into, and can we change? And what kind of confidence can we bring? So much of it is going to be an attitude for us, and playing 2 ranked teams in a row, but both at home, last part of the season, is really coming in with a different type of attitude and a different mentality than we had the first time we played both of these teams. Illinois has had a great run here, and again, I'm happy to play them at home. Illinois has one of the toughest environments to play in the Big Ten, and it's always a challenge to go into their place and play against them. And they're having a great season. So I'm happy that we can at least, finish them off, coming to our place instead of playing it at both of their gyms.
So Wednesday night is social media night. You've had Megan Tallman was running the Twitter feed. Morgan actually is running the Twitter feed herself today as Tuesday. Who's running it on Wednesday?
No one. Game day. They got to be focused.
They got to be focused.
Focus on game day.
So no one on game day.
I'll run the Twitter feed on Wednesday. Our kids love social media. I mean, it is a way to get across to our fans and recruiting and just in general, Hoosier Nation. And so we've enjoyed doing it, and it's always fun to kind of live a day in the life. And I think that's what our kids are doing the last couple of days with taking over the Twitter feed, and they have a lot of fun with it. So I'm excited that they get to do that.
And then Saturday as well, along with senior night, is also bingo night. I know that was supposed to be a promotion a couple weeks ago. It got moved, so that will be on Saturday night. Also, both matches can be seen on BTN Plus. Myself, Jade Henderson, will be on the call. The final 2 games for her and I for Big Ten Network this season. before we move forward to the final road trip next week, and we'll talk about all that and everything that goes on this week next Monday on Inside Indiana Volleyball. So for Coach Sherry Dunbar-Kruzan, I'm Sean Nash. Thanks for watching this week.